Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Youshallpodcast! And our first official music guest is the amazing Gabe Levin. Ladies and gentlemen, I first met Gabe, 3 or 4 years ago?
Probably about 3, maybe.
3 years ago at one of my open mic nights. And I'd heard on the grapevine about this young guy that had a lip station and was doing some really good stuff. And so I reached out and I said, "Come forth, my son. We shall make some music." And he turned up and, you were like 18, 19?
Yeah, I would have been 19, I think.
And absolutely, jaws hit the ground across the room at our Bondi venue. And we've pretty much been in touch every week, if not every second week, since he's been a regular. I've watched him blossom as a performer in exponential ways. I mean, I've been playing for 20 years. I'm not half the performer this guy is. He's got an amazing voice and amazing ability to harmonize with himself, to beatbox, to lay out through the... he's got this thing called a loop station. If you don't know what it is, I'll quickly explain. Or do you want to quickly explain what a loop station is?
It pretty much is just, I use a pedal, so it's a dual track. So it's got 2 pedals on it, just allows me to create a backing track on the spot. So I hit one pedal and anything I do in that period of time, so I hit it again, is recorded. Okay,
so nothing's pre-recorded?
No.
Okay, so basically you organically sing, speak, beatbox, play percussion on the guitar or play the guitar, and it records what you do and then layers it on top of whatever you do next.
Yeah, like anything you do into the mic. So like at some gigs I brought out the trumpet or the piano and I've like brought that into it. And like effectively you could go even further than that and bring in pretty much anything you want into it.
Wow. So right now across the musical world, drummers, bass players and keyboardists are going, fuck, there goes my job. But this isn't old. I mean, Katie Tunstall started off her career with just a loop station, and Ed Sheeran has a career.
Yeah, I mean, and even I know that Ed Sheeran, I saw someone that he got it from someone else as well, of course, like someone called Gary Dunn, and it's just it's gone back a long way. So
sure. Well, not that long ago. It's what the loop station's been around for maybe 15 years.
I was going to say 20, but yeah.
Yeah, okay. So it's relatively new technology, but it has changed the musical landscape significantly because you can literally pick up this pedal, put it on the ground at a gig, and you can vocally do your own drums, you can play your bass line on your guitar, you can do your own harmonies. You can basically reconstruct a band with this pedal.
Yeah, I mean, there are limitations, like, because obviously with a loop station, it has to be repetitive.
Sure,
so you're gonna lose something like that you would have with a...
But I've noticed when you play that sometimes if there's a bridge or something, you just stop the loop.
That's what I do.
And do it acoustically, which is really effective.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I get around it, but there is still a bit of a limitation, because if I want to add in percussion, I can't like change up the beats halfway through a loop. Sure. So, yeah, I have seen some artists with loop stations that have multiple pedals on them
that are capable of doing that. Tony Gibson's one of them. Tony's amazing. I think you've met Tony.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll get Tony in the show at some stage, Charles. This guy's going to blow your mind.
Fantastic, yeah.
He's a conservatorium graduate who plays most brass instruments and nearly all instruments, sings, beatboxes, guitar, etc. But Gabe's very different because Gabe's a songwriter with a very soulful feel, and we're going to have him perform one of his originals in a cover later on tonight, which I think you guys are going to love. I know you're going to love. What am I talking about? So the question I've got for you, Gabe, do you remember the moment you decided to be a musician?
Yeah, I do a little bit. It was not that long after I started playing guitar, probably 6 months after, so it was late 2013.
And how old were you there?
18.
18. So you started quite late.
I started guitar when I was 18, so I'd never played one before, and so
it's incredible.
So up to no trumpet. You mentioned trumpet earlier.
I played trumpet since I was 7.
So you're a musical prodigy. It's just that you started guitar late.
Piano and trumpet.
Now I don't hate you so much. I used to just hate you and like you rock up the gig and say, "Yeah, I've been playing guitar for like a year. Watch me play a song you can't play, mofo." And I'll be like, "Oh yeah, I'm just going to get another scotch." Well, okay. So what was the trigger? What do you remember? What made you say, "I want to be a musician"?
To like actually pick up the guitar there, because I kind of burnt out on the trumpet during school. So I was on YouTube, we started 2013, and I just saw a video of Ed Sheeran playing "Give Me Love" live.
So Ed Sheeran's responsible for your career?
Yeah, I think that's why I get a lot of comparisons, because I'd never sung either before that. So I hadn't played guitar or sung, and I saw a video of him, and so obviously I tried to replicate that. So I got this really old beaten up guitar. I still have it. It's like 50 years old. And it was broken strings and everything. I tried to play the song. I tried to sing like him because I didn't know how else to sing. So I think that's why people make a lot of comparisons.
Well, from memory, you've mentioned the first song you ever played was an Ed Sheeran song.
And
that
then,
you ever learned.
so I actually learnt one of his other songs then.
Which is not an easy song to play.
Yeah, it's good in the sense of it's just 5 chords, but the like rhythmically it is.
It's a very fluid song. Rhythmically.
Yeah, but obviously when I started off, I was just playing just bass. It just
sure. Well, I mean, we all started that way, but now, like, what is the name of that song?
You Need Me, I Don't Need You.
That's right, You Need Me. And I've seen him play it before, and it's an audience stopper. It really, really is. So what's happened for you with your career over the last 3 or 4 years?
Yeah, so I've probably been playing gigs for 3 years now, maybe a bit under, and it's just started off open mic nights. I just played a few of them each week. I was really enjoying.
No, you don't just play. You play all of them all over Sydney. This is one of the hardest working musicians I know, and the most professional musician I know, because I do these nights every week or all the time.
Yeah.
I deal with working with musicians, and I have done for 20 years, and they are the most lovely, effervescent, creative people on the planet, but they're fucking unreliable. Gabe has never not shown up to a gig without giving me heaps of notice, and it's only happened maybe twice.
Yeah, it doesn't.
For whatever reason, both of which were adequate. He turns up, he doesn't drink while he's playing, he is always so professional, and he gives 100%. And this is why at your album launch, I was proud enough to be there and introduce you. I said, if you're going to... Sorry?
Thanks for being there.
Oh, my pleasure, mate. My pleasure. But I was happy to say, like, if I had to put money down on any of my acts to be successful, you're it.
Cheers. Fingers crossed.
Why didn't you?
Yeah, put some money.
Because I'm a musician too, and I don't have any money.
Makes perfect sense.
Do you have any questions, Charles?
Yeah. Join the conversation.
Yeah, because I remember like seeing you like when we started like in the open mics. I think I've seen you like in the one he was doing in King's Cross.
Oh yeah, Sugar Mill. Yeah, I think I actually remember meeting you once. Yeah.
I've seen you since then, and in just maybe like 16 or 18 months, you know, like you improved so much. So how many hours do you practice a day or a week, or I don't know? Like,
for me, like a lot of the practicing that I do is at gigs, because I'd be playing. I was probably 2 a night for a lot of the time. So,
and you're the only person who did that. Like most musicians I know, they go to the open mic night, they play their slot, then they get on the booze and they fraternise with women. I know I did that most of my early career, and I still do it now because it's my job.
But you started with fraternising with a woman, and then the other thing.
Yeah, trust the Frenchman to go straight for fraternising. But Gabe was an exception. He would turn up, he'd play his gig, and he'd be packed up and out the door going to the next open mic. Yeah. I'm sure you've done 3 open mics one night somewhere.
Yeah, probably like 30 or 40 times.
That's unbelievable.
That's incredible. That's dedication.
Really is. It is.
Very impressive. Yeah.
You're focused on honing your art, which I think it shows because of the exponential growth of your confidence and your ability, that how hard you are working. So what's the next step for Gabe Levin?
The next steps, I've got a single that's been recorded because I had that EP last year. I've got a much better single that's already been recorded at quite an awesome studio. And right now what I'm going to get done in the next few weeks is get some live videos out on YouTube, because right now like people will come to my gigs, they'll really enjoy it, they'll say, oh, you know, like just loved your stuff, thought it was amazing, and they'll check me out online. They'll be like,
there's no presence out there.
Can't find your stuff. And the same thing with labels.
Is this why we have the lovely Leo here today to document this historical moment?
Yeah, this is we're moving. Yeah, we're moving forward here with the as far as online presence goes. So it's going to be a big year, I think. But I've been chatting to a lot of labels recently, and they've been really enjoying the live act. They've been saying, look, there's like a lot of potential here. We could see like signing you, but you've just got to build up the online stuff.
Are you allowed to talk about this on air, or is this?
I'm not meant to go into details. There's been discussions, but I mean, for me, that overriding comment that's been coming from them is just you've got to build up the online stuff. So that's what the next few months will be, because I'm at uni. So that would be what that is.
Sure, and it's got to be the delicate balance of making sure you have the industry behind you, the right people in the industry behind you, because
Yeah.
you can often get the wrong people behind you, and that can be the death of your career anyway. But more importantly, it's really important that you do have another avenue outside of music.
I mean, for me, that's what my parents always tell me, and we've had a lot of arguments about that.
Sure.
Yeah, I remember the first time I told them I wanted to be a musician, they got out all the stats on me, and they said, look, this is the amount of people you make, and I wrote a song straight after Light It Up. I wrote that.
Oh, really?
4 minutes straight, just freestyled the whole thing and wrote it down.
So the subtext of that song is "fuck you, mum and dad."
Well, it's it. Dad and stepmom, but yeah.
Dad and stepmom.
No talk about mom.
Brought it
Never.
out, they use the whole, what are you going to be, the next Adele and the next Taylor Swift? And I told them no, but it's like, this is what I want to do. And that was, to be fair, I put myself in their shoes. I understand. I was 18, first year of uni. I wouldn't have supported me either, so that's all right.
Wow, okay, cool.
They can
I never knew the history of that song.
Support you and make sure you still make some good decision to have it's always nice to have backup plan when you start up,
Yeah, no, I'm very lucky to be able to go to uni and stuff like that, so it's important.
What are you studying?
Economics.
Wow.
I did.
Wow, that's so diametrically opposed to music. Do you go out and sing? So it's like you must sit at university in those lecture theatres and just feel the soul being sucked out of your body by the lecturer.
I don't attend lectures, so luckily.
You don't attend lectures?
No, I'm not like that.
Are you an external student?
No, I just don't. I just don't go.
Can I share you? I'll very, very quickly share with you. I discovered the secret in I did my second degree, and I didn't want to go to university to really study it because it was psychology, and fuck it, I just wanted to go back and party and get a band together, which is what I did. But what I did is I'm actually deaf in my left ear, and so I told them I was a disability student and I needed all my lectures recorded, which they now do anyway, but at the time, yeah. But at the time they didn't. So all my lecturers had to wear a microphone and record it, and then they had to send me tapes. I'm showing my age. Oh God, tapes of all the lectures. And what I did is I never actually really listened to the tapes. I put them on a Walkman. Really showing my fucking age now. Jesus, can we get a Zimmer frame over here, please? But I put them on a Walkman, and I put them
I
really.
need to clarify what that is.
I'm gonna have to put all the link,
I know.
That's a Walkman.
What's this,
Click
what
on
is,
the link.
What is this crazy old man speaking
And
about?
then he got his typewriter out.
So what I did is I put them on the Walkman really, really low volume on repeat.
Yeah.
And while I slept, I subliminally learnt the course. And I actually got distinctions and so high distinctions in some of my lectures. I never actually
listened.
listened.
Something subliminal, like you've just got it playing while you sit, like the hypnosis tapes. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
you're a strong,
It
independent
works.
woman.
Subliminal learning actually works. It's amazing. And I actually got through my degree without ever going to a lecture, without actually physically sitting there listening to a lecture.
Now I understand because, I'm starting to fall asleep listening to podcasts about everything, a lot of different shit.
Not this podcast. Though.
Not this
No,
podcast.
you can't fall asleep.
And now, I've got
enthralling.
some weird dreams, about people talking about like very weird
Does
things.
money. Sin does money. Trust me, it'll be good for you. No subliminal messaging here.
It's gonna get good, guys.
So, okay, some negotiations with some. You went to America too. Can you tell us about
I
that?
did. It was pretty cool. I got to go to America and
By boat?
No, I flew there. I didn't go the old-fashioned.
Oh, you're a pilot too. Wow, you're so talented. Okay, yeah. So you took a plane to America, and
took
what
a
happened?
plane
What
to
happened?
America, and I got to play a few gigs over there, which was awesome. And yeah, it was a great trip as far as music went. I wrote a lot of songs over there, which was probably the highlight actually.
On a boat, perhaps?
No, you fly.
that
you
was-
fly there.
Okay.
I wasn't on a boat over in America, but yeah, it went really well. I'm looking forward to traveling a lot, and hopefully next year is going to be the year where I get to do a bit of like touring, opening up some other bands.
You want to go to Europe?
Yeah, I mean, I think they like us there a bit, like UK and stuff.
No, but you understand. Like, I spent at least 12 years touring Australia. Australians don't really appreciate music as an art form. You go to Europe, and it's like really nice cars, green rooms. They put you up in a really nice hotel. They treat you like royalty. They treat you like an artist, and it's very, very different from the culture of music culture in Australia. They sit up in the corner and fucking play Kaysan, or we'll smash a bottle over your head.
Yeah,
You go
play
over
Wonderwall and repeat.
Yeah. I play Wonderwall. You go over there and you play Wonderwall, and I'll just think, I can put that on my iPod. What the hell? They want to hear original music. They're open to hearing original music, and they are very, very accepting of new talent. And I think, I'm not going to say you're not going to make it in Australia because I think you have the talent to do that. But I think if you really, really wanted to give it a shot, go to Europe because I think they would eat you whole.
Yeah, if you manage, I think you're on the right track, because if you manage to get yourself more on the internet, like more internet exposure, and then you go to Europe, and then like to spread the word, you have a better chance to go mainstream. That's a very good plan. Yeah.
I mean, hopefully that's where it's going to head, is like getting over places like Europe, like just heading in that direction. So we just got to spend this year building that up, and then hopefully next year we'll start doing some touring.
It's a good excuse to go traveling to Europe as well.
And your name in French means the wine, so
exactly.
You know it's like
it's the dream. I'm set.
and out of curiosity, is your background French?
A long way back.
Okay, so you can't get a European passport or anything like that?
No.
Both parents Australian?
Parents are Australian, and then New Zealand pretty much, and then some UK. Some
Do you have a grandparent from the UK?
Great grandparents.
So you've had a grandparent, you could actually get a working visa. But then again, they're not in the EU anymore.
Don't know what we should be talking about. It's
my
passport.
No. You can, if you like my grandmother's English. If I wanted to, I could get a working visa, but it doesn't matter anymore because the EU isn't no money.
Brexit,
Brexit's kind of stuffed everything.
Brexit.
Anyway, but why I think you'd work over there is because you have you do sound Australian, but you don't have a very thick Australian accent.
Yeah,
which will make you a lot more accessible to Europe. And I just think, with the style of what you're doing, people like Ed Sheeran and who was the guy with the long red dreads? Newton Faulkner.
Yeah, he's really good actually.
Yeah, and you know what? He played this gig in Brighton, and it just blew up for him. And he just walked in, he sat down, and he's ultra salt of the earth sort of cat. And he just walked in, he played this gig, and within 2 or 3 weeks, he was exploding around the world. Yeah, and you deserve that because you have the capacity and the talent to do that.
You know, I'm not too worried about, like, obviously that would be awesome, and hopefully I'll get there. But I think, you know, you kind of make your own luck as far as that's concerned. So.
Cool. So if you had one piece of advice for an emerging musician, someone who's playing in their bedroom right now, and they wanted to get to where you're going.
Yeah, where I'm going.
And you're going there. I mean, hey, you went to the US, you played gigs, you won a guitar, for God's sake.
Yeah, it's going well. I think what I tell them, I mean, playing gigs is really good practice because nothing's quite like playing in front of people. It's just so different. You really see when I play live, I just close my eyes. That's because I do struggle with it. But it's something you have to do if you want to be successful. I mean, live music is where you're going to make your money if you become successful. And yeah, writing songs and playing live would be the two things. Like, write lots of songs.
So you're saying get out of the bedroom, get on stage?
Yeah, as soon as you can, even when you, like, suck, because I was just terrible when I started. I didn't have hardly any practice behind me, and I just would play a couple of my own songs, a couple of covers, pretty badly, no loop pedal. And, like, it would go all right, and you just get so much better so fast.
Sure.
I think it's a steeper climb if you do it live rather than if you're just in your bedroom.
Do you have any more questions, Charles?
No, I think he said it all. I'm really looking forward to hear what he's going to play for us tonight.
Yeah, he's going to play us a couple of songs. I've got one more question for you, and it's a tricky one.
All right, hit me with it.
You don't strike me as an extrovert. You strike me as someone who's actually a little introverted.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not at all like you.
No, we're the antitheses of each other. I'm possibly could be the supervillain in this case. So you know, bad shit might go down at some stage tonight. I'm sure it will. So my question is this: why would an introvert crave the spotlight?
See, I don't crave the spotlight at all. I love playing, and I love the feeling of playing live, but I don't like the idea of playing and everyone's looking at me, which is why their eyes close.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's really interesting. So you'd much rather play to a small room of friends than to a packed audience of people that are...
I'd definitely rather strangers, because friends, you've got nowhere to hide, and you're going to hear about it if you screw it up.
That's where I agree with you. I would much rather play to 6,000 people than to my parents.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
No joke. I get terrified when my dad comes to watch, because obviously there has been a lot of talk about, you know, him being like, you know, you shouldn't do music. It's not realistic.
It's interesting how diametrically opposing it we have the same experience.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
he's really challenging himself now.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm a Gemini. I'm an extrovert. I crave an audience. Put me in front of an audience, and I'm happy. 6,000 people. Like I said, I can do that. It's not a problem for me. But it must be really, really hard for someone who is not after. And you know, the music industry is based on a popularity contest.
Yeah, I mean, like you get frustrated at me about stuff like this, and like everyone in the entire industry gets frustrated. Goes like, go do like, why aren't you doing this and doing that like a normal performer would? Because I don't think of myself as a performer. I don't even think of myself as a singer.
Wow. Okay.
I'm just not a natural. Yeah, I'm not a natural performer or entertainer. I'm more. Hopefully, I entertain people, but it just. Yeah, it's very much. You know, so it's very personal, and also I struggle with everyone looking and.
Yeah, but there's there's people out there in the music industry that are very, very they're entertainers.
Yeah,
you know, they're entertainers. It's the lights and the cameras and the smoke machines and all that sort of shit. And then there's someone, let me think, who fits the bill. It's very humble.
Like Glenn Hansard. Have you know Glenn Hansard?
No,
he's really good. You should look him up.
I will. I'll check it out. It's immediately after.
Ben Howard. Ben Howard's
Ben Howard. Yeah, yeah.
It's
But there's some performers that are not about ego. They're literally just about wanting to play and connect with the message of the song, and it's not. You know, Adele's probably someone like that.
A little bit, yeah.
You know, like you go to a. Not that I'd go to a Britney Spears concert or a Christian Aguilera concert, but I'm sure if you go there, it's all so visually spectacular, and then you just put Adele on stage and let her fucking play, and that's enough, you know. And I think that's your humility is really one of your strongest assets as a performer. And ladies and gentlemen, you're gonna watch. We've got someone here recording. You're gonna listen and hear 2 songs of Gabe shutting out the universe with his eyes closed and just connecting with music. You're going to love it. Trust me. We'll be back in just a sec with Gabe Levin, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for coming in the studio, bro.
Thank you for having me. Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Can we get that?